Hi, I'm Jean Edelman. For decades, I've been a student of the healing arts: Reiki, traditional Chinese medicine, homeopathy, acupuncture, plant-based, and macrobiotic cooking. Join me on this journey and hear my thoughts of the week. Welcome back to Self-Care with Jean. Today, I am inviting us to something soft, something uncomplicated, and something very, very wise. We spend so much of our lives trying to optimize ourselves, improve ourselves, heal ourselves. We read books, we listen to experts, we track habits, we set goals. While all of that can absolutely support us, sometimes the deepest wisdom is already curled up next to us. Our beloved pets. Not through language, not through productivity, not through striving, but through instinct, presence, and rhythm. A dog stretching in the morning sun, a cat resting in the middle of the afternoon, sudden bursts of play, the way they greet us like we matter and there's nothing else on the planet that's better than us, and the way they return to joy again and again and again. Today we're going to explore the wisdom of our pets, the wisdom that they offer us about stretching, rest, play, joy, and connection. So let's settle in, let's grab our dear little friend, and let's begin. First, let's talk about the wisdom of stretching. Have you ever noticed that animals stretch constantly? Not because they watch our wellness videos, or not because they hit 10,000 steps, or they feel guilty about sitting too long, but because their bodies are asking for it. The dogs, they wake and immediately stretch through their spine and stretch their back. Cats are constantly arching their back. There's no shame in needing movement. There's no performance in it. It's just responsive, and it's tuning into what our body needs. I think many of us, we've lost that relationship to our bodies. We override our discomfort. We sit through our tension. We push through our exhaustion, and we treat our body like it's a machine instead of a beautiful living companion. But our pets, our beloved pets, they remind us that the body is always communicating. Stretch, pause, move, breathe. It all just helps us relax. So maybe self-care is less about the dramatic transformation and more about listening. Right now, we're listening. Maybe we roll our shoulders. Maybe we stretch our hands. Maybe we pull our arms back. We unclench our jaw. Just noticing what our body needs and making those small little shifts can be so, so helpful. Animals trust their physical needs without negotiation, and perhaps they're giving us permission to do so too. Next, let's talk about naps. Naps are wonderful, and honestly, our pets are masters at rest. There's no guilt, there's no apology, there's no earning it. It's just simple rest when we're tired. And somewhere along the way, we have learned to moralize our exhaustion. We glorify being busy. We praise overwork. We wear burnout like it's a shield of honor. But truthfully, we need our rest. We need our peace. And there's something deeply, deeply healing about it. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not maintenance. Rest is wisdom. When animals rest, they rest fully. They are down and out. They don't scroll, they don't multitask, and they don't lie there mentally drafting emails. Their nervous system completely shuts down. And I wonder how different our lives would be, how different we would feel if we allowed ourselves this deeper rest and restoration. What if your tiredness wasn't something to fight? What if our body wasn't something that we saw as failing? What if it was simply asking for kindness? Maybe that nap, it's not weakness. Maybe that nap is trust. Maybe it's allowing ourselves to pause, trusting that the world can continue to spin while we soften for a moment and take a rest. Even closing our eyes for 5 minutes can become an act of kindness, an act of self-respect, an act of nourishment, an act of restoration. Napping is not a bad thing. Napping is truly, truly caring for ourselves. And our pets remind us of that every day. Thirdly, let's talk about play. Play is not frivolous. I think as adults, we starve for the opportunity to play, to be silly. Animals are constantly playing. Where's that basket of toys that we're constantly playing with them? They chase their shadows. They roll on grass. They carry sticks. They sprint for no reason. And what's beautiful is that play serves no productive purpose. It is a joyful task in our day. Somewhere in adulthood, we have started treating the delight of play as something that isn't justified. But you know what? It doesn't take money. It isn't efficient. It doesn't improve us. And we have to stop believing that it's unnecessary, because play is essential nourishment for our nervous system. Play interrupts our survival mode. It invites creativity, laughter, presence. Watch our pets with their favorite toy. Watch them completely immerse themselves. This kind of presence is healing. And maybe our version of play is dancing in the kitchen, or painting something very badly, or gardening, or singing in the car, doing puzzles, throwing a ball in the yard with our pet, actually enjoying instead of checking our phone. Play reconnects us to being alive, and being alive matters. How about we return to joy? One thing our animals teach us beautifully is how quickly they return to joy. An animal can have a stressful moment, and 5 minutes later, they're completely enchanted with a leaf or a stick or something, a squirrel or a chipmunk. Animals experience the emotion, but they do not build identities around the suffering the way humans do. They return to presence, they return to curiosity, they return to now. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is okay, but it does remind us that joy still exists alongside difficulty. It exists alongside our grief and our pain. And having tiny moments of joy count. That warm cup of tea, the clean sheets, the morning light through our window, the sound of paws walking across our floor, the wagging of our little friends' tails when we come home. Joy doesn't always arrive as fireworks. Sometimes it arrives quietly and simply. It's the purr, it's the fun bark, it's the wagging of the tail. Maybe healing is partly learning how to notice that again, finding that joy, finding that frivolous play, finding the opportunity for naps, having wisdom in our body and stretching when we need it. These are the opportunities to return to joy, to return to the now. And lastly, let's talk about the gift of connection. That is the greatest gift that our pets give us, connecting. Animals are profoundly relational. They sit beside us when we cry. They notice our energy shifts. They offer companionship without requiring that perfection. They remind us that connection is not built through performance. Our pet does not care about our productivity during the day. They don't care about our inbox being empty, and they don't care about our status. What they care about is our presence, our attention, the tone of our voice, the touch, and safety. And humans, we need this too. We're not meant to live emotionally isolated. We are meant to live connected, because that connection regulates our nervous system. It reminds us that we belong. It softens the loneliness. Each brief moment of genuine connection is healing. And that is a hug. It's eye contact. It's a meaningful conversation. It's sitting quietly beside someone that we love. Our pets understand something that we forget. Love is communicated through consistent small moments, not in grand gestures, not in perfection, just returning to each other again and again. So in closing, dear friends, maybe take lessons from our dear animals that we share our home and our hearts with. We want to stretch our bodies. We want to rest before we collapse. We want to play without needing a reason. We want small moments of joy, and we want to stay connected. These simple things, these ancient things, these wise things. Maybe self-care doesn't always need to be another task on our checklist. Maybe sometimes self-care is remembering how to be a living creature and how to enjoy spending time with our animals. I'm very grateful for you for spending this time with me today. I hope that you move through the rest of your day with a little more softness towards yourself. And if our pet is nearby, maybe give them an extra cuddle of gratitude for all the quiet wisdom that they share with us so freely, so unconditionally. Next week on The Kitchen, we're talking about one of nature's most magical sweeteners, dates. They're rich in fiber, minerals, antioxidants. They satisfy your sweet tooth and nourish your body at the same time. You're not going to want to miss this one. Join us next week on The Kitchen with Jean. So until next time, dear friends, please take care of yourself. Please remember to stretch, to rest, to play, to notice the small moments of joy, and to stay connected. And remember, dear friends, that this is Earth School. The lesson is love, to love ourselves, to love each other. And remember that life comes from us and life is for us. Have a beautiful, beautiful week.